Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about the tier list and the updated one because the last one we did was back in August, and since then they released 5 new characters and we can make their entry in the tier list, and we'll be fixing the tier list and making some adjustments due to us having more experiments, and now that we probably are using every single fighter and now we know where they belong as better than before. Of course this will change in the future, so right from the start we have the double S characters and the ones that we rank them in the double S category. They're still the same, nothing changed. I had some questions asking me why Summer Yang is being here, because first of all he's so important in the Flame Tower. He's used everywhere, PvE, PvP, in bossing. His C2 is amazing and his C1 is amazing, and his assist is also so crazy. But because he's so valuable, we use him in always in every main lineup. We don't use him so much in assist position, so this is why. And the only adjustment that I was talking about with my friends and we were discussing, one of the units that you cannot dispose of or ignore or leave, and it helps you wherever you go, and it's used everywhere, literally everywhere, and it's the main component of every DPS lineup. It's Street Poison. So Street Poison goes up to the SS category as the best normal faction support in the game. Of course, Athlete Chun-Li is the best support. Then we can say Rose. It's like it have a fight between her and Street Poison for who's the second best in the game. Elena, because the plus 30, and she sometimes dying, and some people that don't manual, or if you use it in arena and PvP and she missed times, sometimes she kills herself while jumping if you do her to plus 30. This is why she decreased a little bit in the, and we don't use her mainly for tag position. We mainly use her for her buffing from the start of the game and her healings. Other than that, the C2 and C1 of Street Poison are amazing. Sometimes her super, we use it to initiate any combo from the start of the battle. Summer Yang is also, his super, his C1, his C2 are perfect. Same for Rose, same for Athlete Chun-Li. Top tier class supports. If you want 4 supports that are so good to help you with all your lineups, these are the supports that you're looking for. We'll talk about different supports later. Now, in the entry of the top in the SS category, we have Oni now. And Oni is probably now the best damage dealer, the second best damage dealer after Dalsim, normal Dalsim. And why is that? Because he deals soul damage, and it's so insane the damage that he deals. We see him now meta in bossing, meta in PvP, meta in PvE. Although that in PvP they say he's squishy, there's lineups that he play with, he never dies, and plus we have many assists to help him survive, and many other units that can help you mitigate damage on your lineup. Absolutely insane unit. We don't need to talk about him so much. You can go and check your leaderboards always and check the teams that people who build Oni are using, and you'll check that they are at higher levels when they use him. Now, another unit that came to the game and now arguably being talked as not only the best support but the best buffer in the game and the best cleanser in the game. She's the best cleanser, which is Summer Elena. Now, Summer Elena is amazing. All her kit, she can tank and immune to damage. She takes 0 damage. Plus she cleanse you and boosts your attack and adds a little bit of DPS because she DPS. And she's the only unit that whenever you start a super combo, she triggers 2 skills, not 1 skill. So she triggers either her super or C1 or C2, and it's absolutely insane. This is one of the best units in the game. Another unit that made it to the SS category, which is Ken. Fashion Ken, or you can say Flame Ken, but his name is Fashion Ken. This unit is so important for every single bossing. If it's a single target boss, of course he will shine more than anybody else. If it's AoE, you're gonna use Dalsim or slap him on top of Dalsim. Make him as an assist for Dalsim is the best thing that you can do whenever you're going with Dalsim, because he buffs him so much. He's used in PvP, he's used in bossing, and some PvE lineups where you can use him as a potential buffer for bleed or for flame. He does insane also. But again, PvE is not, or story mode or tower is not the main thing that we he's universal, you can use them there, but the best way to use him is in the bossing or in PvP. In PvP he shines many rotations. I've seen crazy lineups, but we saw all of us people talking and saying like he doesn't do well in PvP and stuff, and I've seen lineups I was shocked because I don't have him as a free-to-play. Absolutely insane unit. Again, let's talk about the units that went from S. Everybody here deserves this rank. Maybe we can rate them higher. Gouken, probably the 4th best unit in the game right now. Or let's put him here because we don't want to mess up. Can we put him here? It messes it up. So he's probably he's the best tank in the game, probably the 4th best unit, and you need him as a free-to-play or a new player or an old player who's saving your limited tickets. He's a must-have unit. He works from A to whatever level you build him. Later on, especially now that free-to-play are reaching chapter 40 and chapter 39 and encountering 3-4 teams and the 5 teams now. At chapter 40 you'll be at 40-25, you'll hit the 5 teams, and you need another tank, and there's not a lot of tanks that can handle auto attacks from the enemies because of the big deficit, especially if you're a low spender or free to play. You need Gouken. He will keep you alive, he will revive. It means when you go fatal damage you will not die. It means revive in some certain way. Gives massive shields with buffs. Insane unit. And he tanks a lot, and he deals decent damage actually for a tank. Absolutely you need him. If there's a priority for the limited characters, it's Gouken, then one copy at least from Evil Ryu. After that I would go for Elena. That's as free to play talking, or any low spender that wanna do that. Then you go for the carries. The carries will stay there, you can use them later. None of them will go, or you can still save and wait for collab units, but it's really a necessity to use Gouken. Until now, for me, for a tank for my lineups for bossing in the chapter 40, I'm using for 5th team, I'm using a mercenary Gouken, which I saw myself like I can't pass, or it's very hard. It needs more than 100 retries on some lineups, but the deficit that I have. So Gouken is an insane unit. Now another unit that now is one of the best units in the game, and it's sad to say that he's a collab character and he's no longer available right now, which is Nero. Nero is the only tank in the game that can solo a PvP lineup. So if your team wipe and Nero is still alive and you have Witch Jury on top of him as an assist, he almost never dies. He continue parrying. If you're lucky and he parries and he does the 4 stacks, so he continue and increase his damage. He silence when he starts. There's a clip if you want to ask Dombuka about it. Nero solo a full team, a full 4 combo team with their assists and everything on his own. Absolutely insane tank, very good for survivability, very good for interruptions. He silence and he knocks up to the sky, so he interrupts. It's one element key component. Now again, one unit that deserves actually to be in the SS because she's probably the best buffer for flame faction in the game of its entirety. And yeah, it's a pay-to-win character, it's a legendary unit, it's Flame Sean. Her flame penetration is so insane that she gives you the highest numbers in the game so far. No one can buff the flame faction as much as she buffs, and the assist of Ken, of course. If you want crazy numbers, if you want to compete in bossing in future, and you're ready to invest a little bit, I'm a free to play, I'm doing well without her, but if I had her, I would be competing for the top 1st rank, maybe 2nd, 3rd rank. But because I don't have her, I'm always there in the top 10, but I can't compete even more because you need her. She's crucial for events. For PvE, she's helpful. She also help you combine stacks, especially if you're fighting tanks like Zangief, because he reduces flame damage. She will ignore all of that because of the flame penetration. In PvP, she's used always if you're running a flame team with Dalsim, because she will increase his damage output. She's insane, you can use her anywhere. Even her assist is one of the crazy assists. Now that's it. From now, that's what we're gonna be talking about, the SS rank. Yeah, many SS characters, these are so important. I know many of them are pay to win or limited characters, but they're limited characters and pay to win for a reason. They are better than everybody else. So you should take a little bit this tier list with a grain of salt. I'm free to play. I hate every single character that is in the SS, except the free to play ones, because I can't have them. I don't hate them, it means I don't like them. I like them, but I hate that I can't have them. So I have the same feeling as you. Now, for the S rank characters, I'll talk generally. Everybody deserves here to be in the S rank. Somebody told me why Akuma is not in the SS. He's literally almost. If you're a whale, he's helpful in the campaign and tower. If you're not, if you're casual spender, he might help you if you invest in his soul power. But as for him, even when investing in soul power as free-to-play, the free-to-play players that I have as friends, having him invested with soul power is not helping them in PvE. He's a bossing unit. In PvP, he's great. His assist is trash, actually. It doesn't deal anything. It deals a little bit of damage. It's almost negligible. And in PvE, he doesn't deal great. Sagat, I was unsure if I put him in SS or keep him here. I'll just keep him here just for one thing, the RNG. If you don't proc his 6 out of 6, sometimes it ends you to lose the PvP fight or not deal so much damage, and he needs a lot of retries. Very RNG unit, but very tanky unit. One of the tankiest unit. And one thing that I hate about the mechanic about him, they put him behind other units, which I wish that they made him a tank. It will be insane. The other units are still here. Gen is so important to your progress. His Shadow Clone or his C2, you can interrupt with it. I used it many times. It works perfectly. Just like Zangief C2, but it's a single target. And it's really good, and he adds a lot of damage. Back in the day when we started the game, he was the boss killer. We used him for bossing before we got introduced to Trendy Kami, and we used Viper. Now, Elena also deserve here. Vega, I'm gonna drop him one category to the A. Why? Vega is used in bossing, a little bit in PvP with the bleed. So squishy, needs a lot of support, so speedy. There's a lot of teams that you can run him with. But outside that, he's used only for bossing and 2 or 3 lineups in PvP. That's it. In PvE, he will not help you that much. He will kill one unit, but your team cannot survive. You can't chomp on them. You will time out. We tried him with 36 cards. He didn't work that much. Now, all of the A characters deserve their ranking here. I'm not gonna talk so much about them, except Abel. He should be in the S rank. Why Abel? We understood now that his shields also, he doesn't counter stuns with them, but he counts interrupted. So any character like Nero, if he knocks you up to the sky, if you have the shields of Abel, you will not be interrupted. Your combo will go through if you have the shields on. So his shields also does insane. There's a boss like Anomoi or Anomoa in the Crusade. We use him as a C1 because we will never get interrupted by the blast of the interruption of the boss. The B ranks, if you want, you can put Mummy Dalsim here, or you can keep him here. Mummy Dalsim, the thing is with him that his rotation, you can deal damage only with his C2 if you're using him for damage. You can use his C1, but you need to use his super, which makes no damage. His C2 makes damage. If you're a whale and with high deficit, you'll see him dealing a lot of damage. Use any unit that has C2 as an AoE. You'll see that it deals more than him. That's why in the tower, it's still poisoned the queen in tower. Cody, he's going up to the A rank. Cody is a necessity for you as a free-to-play or casual spender. You need to practice him, check some videos. There's a lot of content creators who mentioned him and showed you videos. I have some videos of my own. Go check them. He's a unit that will help you progress, and this is how I was the first free-to-play player ever to reach chapter 40, because I have him built at S+, and he's really insane and good to use. Diviner Rose, now she goes up to the B rank. You can put her at A rank if you want, but I'll keep her at B rank only because she's a heavy investment. As free-to-play and casual spenders, you don't need it, but you need to have her in some situations. Her dispelling is 30% chance, not that good as Summer Elena. Summer Elena is a great investment, but she deals decent heal. Her only good thing for bossing, and it's the plus 30 on her. If you build her for plus 30, your bossing will be having an insane crit damage boost, and that's it. For all the C characters, they're good in the assist position, mainly for DiCapri because she's crucial for speed in the Flame Tower. Normal Sakura, She's good early store. Let's put her here. Let's put all the B ranks here, except this guy. She's good for healing at the start of the game. I use her till mid of the game with her C1, the B rank Sakura. She's really good. Makoto, she goes down here. I'll keep her here only for her interruption because sometimes it works. She's the Scooty, she is tank. Her and T-Hawk. T-Hawk, sadly, he will go to the D rank. T-Hawk, he's bugged, so his C1 doesn't work. It works sometimes it doesn't. We don't know why. He's supposed to cleanse and with 100% success rate, at least on himself, but it never works. It works on assist position. The mechanic of it is a little bit bugged. It's reading from the assist file and not reading from the C1 file that they have in the game files. So he's bugged. We're waiting for him. Jury, let's put it in TBD because Jury is also bugged, not working. Only her assist is working. All the buffs are not working. The multiplier for 100% for her is doing at 20%. So anything that would give her 100% will go down to 20%. There's something wrong with the calculations in the game files. Many people now are talking and sending me tests and what it's supposed to be, and showing me the tests from Taiwan and China versions, and it's different for her. Makoto, why I want to demote her? The only thing about her is her C2 is a little bit good. If you're using her in tower and interrupting with Honda constantly or silencing with Street Poison and she's not getting hit and there's a tank in front of her, she needs a tank to protect her as a tank, and she needs a healer and an interrupter, so for her to survive and get the tank Q or key from her passive, so she can be a little bit tanky and deal a little bit damage, which she's not supposed to deal damage actually. She doesn't add that much for your team. She's a burden unless you're using her for C2 and you have no other option. Her C2 is very hard to master, but if it works, it's good because she knocks them back to the end of the screen. Well, you can use other mechanics for that. T-Hawk, yeah, completely broken. Hugo, if you want to have him on fire flame tower, because he's not getting one shot most of the time, you can use him as a meat wall. If you build his 3 out of 6 cars and his exclusive, he gives potato to the team, sometimes healing them from clutch situations. He's decent. I'm not gonna say bad. Adon, if there's a category that I will say completely garbage and put him in it, I will put him in it. Some people, if they're pay to win, if you're heavy pay to win and used Adon and think that he's good, whoever you use in the flame tower, whoever it is, they'll do better than him. He's not that good. I convinced one of my friends, and we did it live on the Discord. There was many people watching. I convinced him to go plus 30, 36 cars, and he did it only for me. Absolutely trash. Even his grave injury with Oni, we tried to pair him up. It doesn't add much. His hatred mark is only for him from his 20% attack. So 20% of his attack, and it's completely useless. Anything about him on paper, he's the only character in the game. If you read him on paper, you'll be like, he's OP, he's not. Completely trash. Charming Dudley, his assist is good. Anything else, he's not used. He's countered by many things, especially Able Shield, because he just do a one single punch and it's negated by the shield. His assist will help you because you can decrease healing. DJ goes up to the C because you can utilize his stun with the C2. It's very hard. Still, he's a better tank than Hugo in the flame tower, and you can use him for that, and he buffs a little bit of the shields when you enter the battle. Let's talk about which jury between A and S. There's a lot of characters that needed and soul power for her to actually show you the potential of the DPS that she can make. Absolutely crazy. She does crazy numbers. I showed you in many videos how I use her. The best thing about her is the lifesteal that she has. Plus, she can be an assist for somebody and give them that lifesteal. So very, very crazy, very good unit. I love her. I use her a lot. El Fuerte, very mediocre unit. He's buffed, and they removed the role of support from the Taiwanese and Japanese and Chinese version and give him a balanced character. He's a good support, decent, goes good with if you use his C2 for bleed teams, if you use his C1 for armor break teams. He's used somewhere in bossing if you use him with Vega, and sometimes he's used also with the teams that have Kami as a character, as a bossing and with Chun-Li, of course, because of the armor break. He can help a little bit, but there's a lot of other units that can use a C1 to support, like Yang, like Street Poison. Their C1 are better. Athlete Chun-Li 100%. Even Diviner Rose is very much built better than him with the C1 for also the teams that require some buffs. Now Yang, I'll put him here also. Yang is the only unit that it will become meta. You're gonna see him here also in the future. I'm just giving you a glimpse for the future. This character's C1 is insane. For 5 seconds you gain 25% crit rate to your entire team. If you're doing a rush team like Viper, his C1, C2 from somebody, C3 from Viper, or C3 from Guile, if you have this set up, your entire team will be on plus 25 crit rate for the entire time. Plus him and his brother Yan and Yang are important on assist position for the combo meter for you. Now, a unit that I will tell you keep one copy at least from in the future, and I'll put it here in the C. Also Ibuki, because we're using her C1 on the bleed teams. It works also with Fashion Ken and Vega. Just keep a copy. Maybe in the future somebody will highlight a very mega OP team for bossing, and it requires her until we have a C1 for bleed, because she buffs bleed. She's the only unit to buff bleed, to buff effect accuracy for bleed. Hakan will be using him in flame teams, especially in Crusade or charm units that charm your front line. He will be charmed, have oil on himself. Dalsim will hit with 1 million. This million will be multiplied by 50, so 50 million immediately on the boss. If he hit for 1 billion, that's 50 billion on the boss. This is how insane his debuff on himself and on his teammates, so you wait for him to get charmed. Right now we don't have the EX moves to keep him surviving on the enemy front line, unless it's Virgil EX and it's only for 3 seconds. We need the triple S gear, which will drop, I think, in the start of the next year. I don't know if the rumors are true. So we're waiting for these. Absolutely build him up, and you can gear him up. Let the enemy charm him, especially in Crusade, or the poison in the boss rush, and you'll use him against that boss and deal insane damage and collect all the rewards. And yeah, these are to be determined units, and that's it for the entire list. I don't know, let me know your opinions about this tier list, and tell me what you want me to make in the future. And yeah, that was it for the video.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, we thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.
Time to fly.